Is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, City Clerk Ed Norris, would you call the roll?
Mayor McClellan,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Here.
Councilmember Radner, Councilmember Edgar,
Here.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Okay, we have a quorum. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Next, we have a consent agenda, and these are routine items presented without discussion as a single item. Any council member can ask to have one of them discussed separately. 5A, regular city council meeting minutes for April 1st, 2024, and special council meeting minutes for the same date. Request authorization to dispose of surplus vehicles and equipment. D, request authorization to advertise for bids in the pre-demolition material survey at select city buildings. E, request to advertise for bids for the city landscape design project, M772. F, payment request from Newman Smith Architecture for architectural services on the Event Hub and Municipal Services Building. G, request authorization to enter into the West Nile Virus Fund Expense Reimbursement Program available from Oakland County that we do every year. H, request to renew the Smart Municipal Credit and Community Credit Contract for fiscal year 2024. I, request to approve payment application number 4 to Santoro Services Limited of Chesterfield, Michigan, for the Linear Park Landscaping Project, M739, in the amount of $19,332.98. Approval of payment application number 2 for the 2023 Sewer and Catch Basin Cleaning and TV Inspection Project, M760, in the amount of $79,078.35. K, approval of payment application number 1 for the 2024 Joint and Crack Ceiling Project, M765, in the amount of $56,956.90. Finally, L, licenses new and renewals for April 15th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We don't have elected officials here today. So we are on special recognition and presentations. And the first is a resolution that I would like to read to you supporting state revenue sharing reform. Just background, the city used to get $5 million in 2000 from state revenue sharing, and it went down to like 3,200, and the city is out a significant amount of money that had been coming from the state that we could use to fix roads and other things. Here is the resolution: urging state leaders to address the inadequacy of state shared revenue sharing and encouraging other Michigan cities to join in this effort. Whereas the City of Oak Park, along with other local governments in Michigan, relies on state revenue sharing to provide essential services to its residents. And whereas state revenue sharing in Michigan is divided into two kinds, constitutional and statutory. Statutory is subject to legislative appropriations, which they decided to cut. Whereas the City of Oak Park has experienced a significant reduction in statutory revenue sharing, impacting the city's ability to fund essential services adequately, a challenge shared by many cities across Michigan, I believe we lost a total of $36 million from state revenue sharing that we had been getting that we no longer got. Whereas projections calculated and provided by the Michigan Department of Treasury indicate a concerning trend for the city of Oak Park, with a yearly unfunded amount reaching approximately $2,838,167 by the year 2025, and a cumulative unfounded amount of $39.6 million since 2004. So if they had continued the $5 million level that they had before, we would have had 39, almost $40 million more in our budget to fix streets and do other things that we are doing. Whereas state revenue sharing accounts for 18% of the City of Oak Park's general fund budget, and whereas this reduction in statutory revenue sharing places an undue financial strain on the City of Oak Park and other Michigan cities, necessitating either cuts in essential services or increased local taxation, both of which adversely affect our residents. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of Oak Park, Michigan hereby urges the Governor of Michigan, the Michigan State Legislature, and other state leaders to acknowledge the critical importance of statutory revenue sharing for the financial stability of local governments and the well-being of their residents. Reassess and amend the current approach to statutory revenue sharing to ensure more stable and adequate funding for local governments. To consider the long-term implications of reduced statutory revenue sharing on the quality of life in Michigan communities, and to engage in open and collaborative discussions with local government representatives, including a coalition of Michigan cities, to develop a more equitable and sustainable revenue sharing model. Be it further resolved that the City of Oak Park encourages other Michigan cities to adopt similar resolutions, creating a unified voice to address this issue immediately. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be sent to the Governor of Michigan, the Michigan State Legislature, local government associations, and municipalities across Michigan. Adopted the 15th of April, 2024 by the City Council of Oak Park, Michigan. And there is a chart attached showing all of the revenue lost. You don't want to read it over. Over the years because of this change in state funding. We need a motion for this resolution to be adopted.
So moved.
Thank you for the second. Our roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Speak up.
Mayor, is there room for questions, or this is just?
Sort of a. Is there room for questions? Absolutely.
So are we joining other cities in doing this? So there's a group of cities that's going to send this resolution to the state?
Yes, correct.
Okay. How many cities?
I don't have the list right now, but I know Ferndale's one.
If I could, Madam Mayor, just to add to that. So I also, Ferndale is one of them. I also know there's, in fact, of the city managers around this South Oakland area, most of the other cities have done the support of the resolution, so.
Further questions? No. Okay, so the resolution is passed. And now good news about the strategic plan first quarter 2024 report, which always is amazing for what they've accomplished in a short time.
Good evening, yes. I have the pleasure of coming up and
Is that
giving,
on?
is it? It's green, can you hear me? I have the pleasure of coming to you tonight and giving you all the good news. I'll give a quick little intro for those who aren't familiar, but the strategic plan reports are an opportunity to share the progress that the city is making on our 2021 through 2026 strategic plan. City administration created an action plan that guides staff over the next 5 years, over the 5 years of the plan, in achieving the city's established goals and objectives. It is broken down into actionable items with a time frame for completion and identifies the departments responsible for ensuring their completion. Quarterly reports that have been delivered, I deliver the quarterly reports to give everyone at home and all of you an update on what we've been doing to help us reach these goals. So as I'm sure you remember, when City Council passed the strategic plan, they also created a vision, a mission, and articulated our values. So that is part of the plan. I'll just quickly go through those for time. And then 6 goals were created, and within the 6 goals, there are objectives under each, and then action items under each of those. So it's a very firm roadmap on how we can achieve these goals. The report that you guys have has a little bit more information in it. For time's sake, I try to keep the presentation to some of the highlights. But what you're looking at is going to be what we've accomplished over the last 3 months, so January through March. Under our first goal, to deepen the sense of place and community identity, one of the objectives is to attract and retain a mixture of robust businesses into the city. In doing that, the Economic Development Department has been very busy. They finalized the Match on Main program grant application through the MEDC for businesses in the Corridor Improvement Authority, which will provide grants of up to $25,000. They've engaged both Southfield and Berkeley Chambers of Commerce and are working to join each chamber in fiscal year 24. The Economic Development Department has worked with the cities of Southfield and Lathrop Village to host training events and networking opportunities. In addition to that, the library provides space and marketing for Oakland County's Business Forward initiative that facilitates connections between businesses and business forward resources. Another objective under that goal is to improve the overall appearance of commercial corridors and industrial districts, and also another objective is to combat blight issues in residential neighborhoods. In doing so, our code enforcement division has issued 1,730 code enforcement notices for various properties. This is commercial and residential. They've performed 379 business license inspections. They also codified the vacant property registration ordinance and revised the shopping cart ordinance, which all of you approved. And in addition to that, they've performed 611 rental inspections over the last 3 months. Another objective is to celebrate Oak Park's diversity through events and programs that attract people throughout the region. Primarily, our recreation and our department and our library are always active in achieving this goal. So on the screen above is just a few of the events that have been hosted in the last 3 months. Another objective is to invest in public art experiences. So the city and the library released a request for proposals for a mural on the east-facing exterior wall of the library, and those proposals were due last Monday, and I'm happy to report that we received 29 of them. The commission met last week, and there are so many that we have to meet again. And so hopefully next month we'll be coming to this body with approval of a mural. In addition to that, the library hosted another grab and go craft, this one in honor of Black History Month. And the Artist in Residence program hosted artist Barbara Jacobs' work, and we also hosted a artist reception for her in February. Another objective is to provide programming that responds to the needs of all demographics in the community, and also to foster social interaction and a sense of ownership at all of the city's public spaces. In achieving that objective, the library has been always busy. They offer free literacy-based events for 1 to 2-year-olds in partnership with the Great Start Collaborative Oakland. They're always hosting story time, which includes PJ story time, as well as toddler story time. They hosted a space and art event at Oak Park High School Planetarium. And recreation is also always busy. They introduced a mom-to-mom sale in March. They also introduced parent-taught playtime every Wednesday for kids 0 to 5. In addition to some of the regular classes that are always being hosted, like bingo and hustle, Scrabble Club, Seniors in Motion. You can follow their Facebook page, both the library and recreations pages, to always keep up to date on the activities that they're providing. The second goal is to foster an engaged, informed community. One of the objectives is to ensure effective, meaningful communication with the community and increase positive media coverage. Our communications department has been hard at work. We've added 52 new subscribers to our e-blasts, and we believe part of that is due to the now weekly Oak Park report, which was launched, and since then we've seen quite a bit of increase in those subscribers. We're continuing on our Elevate Oak Park communication campaign to keep residents informed on that progress. We're keeping up meaningful strategic communication among several platforms, including all of our Facebook pages, including our public safety Facebook page, the recreation Facebook page, Oak Park Library's Facebook page, the 9 Mile Facebook page, and now the Oak Park Corridor Improvement Authority Facebook page. Public safety engagement has included, their Facebook page is now up to 644 followers, and they've been pretty busy. They implemented a ride-along, which are pretty fun videos with the officers, which gives you a little bit of insight into what their day-to-day looks like. And they've been utilizing really fun ways to engage community members and share important information on that page. And next, our third goal is to cultivate organizational excellence. One of the objectives under this is to provide high-quality, friendly, responsive customer service. Our biggest initiative, or one of our biggest initiatives under this, is our GovQA platform. Staff reported on 146 GovQA requests this last quarter, with an average time of 3.7 days for closeout. I'm just happy to say this graph is showing up this time, because the last 2 times it has not. But this gives us a breakdown of the number of requests, or really the percentage of requests of all that were submitted in the last 3 months. So obviously tree maintenance is a big one, potholes, public safety, code violations. And we utilize GovQA not just for communicating with residents, but also as a way to gain an understanding on what residents need more information on. So the communications director and the resident services coordinator are constantly working together to identify those needs, and right now they're establishing a communication strategy to educate residents on tree types and cutting seasons. The fourth goal is to provide efficient, resilient government. One of the objectives is to secure outside funding to help fund city projects and capital expenditures. To note, in the last 3 months, the Recreation Department has been really busy on acquiring sponsorships. They received $15,000 in direct sponsorship dollars for the farmers market and $10,000 for concerts in the park. They also received $15,000 for raised garden beds, which is a project that we'll see move forward. It's associated with the Farmers Market Power of Produce program. And then also, just behind the scenes, we've been submitting funding requests to our state and federal representatives for several city projects for fiscal year 2025. So cross your fingers, talk to your legislators. And then in addition to this, the library is also always busy at looking for outside funding. They were awarded the Michigan Humanities Grant, which is bringing the Black History 101 Mobile Museum to our Juneteenth celebration. And in addition to that, another objective is ensuring efficiency of elections. Our clerk's office and the communications department are working together on the implementation of a voter information campaign, utilizing the city magazine, utility billing mailers, and social media. And that is it. That's a wrap.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
We are down to item 8A, request for special event license submitted by the Oak Park Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission for a World Dance Day. It's held every year on April 28th, 2024, no matter what day that turns out to be, and this year it's Sunday. It's from 4 to 6 p.m. at the community center. Is there a motion to approve this request?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Discussion or questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. B, request for a special event license submitted by the Oak Park Library for Inflatables Adventures to be held on Sunday, June 30th, from noon to 2. Is there a motion to approve this request?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item C, request for a special event license submitted by Oak Park Library for an adventures and outdoor gaming event to be held on July 14th from noon to 2. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
And second? And I have a question. What's outdoor gaming?
It's like inflatable, huge games.
Inflatable games. Thank you. Okay. Let's see, we didn't vote yet, right? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Motion carried. Lastly, request for special event license submitted by Berkeley Fit for a Fit Day event to be held on May 11th from 2 to 7 in the parking lot behind Berkeley Fit and Dog and Pony. And this being a for-profit company, they did pay the fee. Is there a motion to approve this request?
I have a question.
Yes.
It says that the applicant did not provide any insurance information for the event. If the city-owned parking lot is used, oh, so this is not a city-owned parking lot?
Is it?
It is.
It is.
Okay, so why didn't they?
So why, is the insurance a problem?
That's part of the condition that you're making, so we will make sure we get that.
Oh, make it as a condition.
Oh, okay,
They
because it
must
just
do
said it did
that.
not have it.
So we need to make sure that, that's provided.
Okay, that
Um,
was my only question, because it looks like, it read like they didn't provide any insurance.
Right, exactly. So, do we have a motion?
Second?
And second, and we had some discussion, and we'd like to make sure that it's approved pending the insurance guarantee. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Accounting reports. Approval for payment of invoices submitted by Garen Luco Miller, PC, for legal services in the amount of $15,178.33. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
No discussion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. A 9B, approval for payment of an invoice submitted by Schiffman Fournier for legal services retainer for April 1st to June 30th in the total amount of $18,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved?
So moved and seconded. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. We are down to bids, and I think Director Maroney, I think we're going to have questions about this one. This is a request to award the bid for the demolition of 21950 Eastwood to Blue Star Demolition for a total amount of $16,200. We need a motion and a second.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, and then Director Maroney, we don't usually pay to demolish houses. Why are we paying for this one?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council members. This is for a home on 21950 Eastwood that had their first fire in February of 2019 and then a subsequent fire again in March of 2019. We have tried to work with the homeowner to get the property rehabbed and back into a habitable situation. Unfortunately, that was something we were unable to maintain or attain. So we had our city attorneys, with approval of City Council, to file a public nuisance action against this property owner in order to demolish the home. They were given 30 days from the judge in order to remediate the property and bring it back into condition that's suitable for living in, which they have not done. And so we went out for bid to request costs for demolition, and the low bidder is in front of you tonight with Blue Star.
Okay,
And the money,
any-
just to let you know, one quick thing is we will do the demolition and then the amount will be assessed to the property. So that will be recouped once the property sells.
Got it. So this is since 2019,
Correct, and we've had
2021,
many, many
22,
complaints
20.
from the
This is
neighbors,
5 years
understandably.
that they've had to do something about this property. Any discussion or questions for the director? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried, thank you. 10B, request to award the bid for 2024 sidewalk replacement project, M762 to Italia Construction of Washington Township for the total amount of $1,221,339. We need a motion to approve this award.
So moved.
Second.
Second. And then can someone speak about, have we used this company before? Speak of angels and hear the flutter of their wings, yes. This is Kara Grissomer, our engineer, city engineer.
Good evening, Mayor. Yes, we put out this project for bid after City Council allowed us to post for bid on March 4th, 2024. We advertised and 55 contractors viewed the documents. We received 6 bids on April 1st, 2024. The low bidder, Italia of Washington Township, Michigan, submitted the bid of $1,221,339. This project will replace sidewalk that is in poor condition or does not meet the current standards in the areas north of Lincoln. And we checked the references. We have also previously worked with this company, so we do know what to expect. And so we do recommend that this bid be awarded.
Okay, we have a motion, correct? Yes. Questions?
I do, Mayor.
Yes, Councilwoman Julie Edgar.
So a few residents have been talking about the sidewalk replacement project online, and there are always complaints about it, but somebody said, why doesn't Oak Park shave down the sides of sidewalk
Slabs that are
jutting
sticking up,
Right.
yeah.
Why are we replacing them when they're just gonna come up again, because we've got tree roots? Why don't we do that?
Well, we would quickly lose sidewalk integrity. Our regular between driveway sidewalk thickness is only 4 inches. So depending on the lip size, we would definitely start losing integrity, especially as you say, it keeps moving. So if we start shaving and then it moves again, and then we shave it again, and now we've only got how much left? 1 inch, 2 inches? And that can quickly exacerbate the problem. What we do is we'll pull up that sidewalk. If there are tree roots that are immediately below the sidewalk, we do have a root grinder that they do run. Not all species of trees will eventually grow down, but a lot of them will if you start making it difficult for them to grow upwards.
So it's a short-term expense that isn't really cost-effective.
For
So
the
shaving.
shaving, we have found so. There are other cities who are taking other directions. We're always watching to see if there is something that we can do, but right now we've just found this to be slightly more cost-effective over the long term. As you know, our sidewalk project only touches each area of the city maybe once every 20-some years. So that's a long time for a sidewalk to be very, very thin in areas, especially at joints. You're then gonna get more cracking, get more problems, and more complaints, and then we'll be back in 10 years instead of 20, for instance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Let's see, roll call then.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. 10C, request to award professional services proposal to OHM Advisors, who have done a lot of work for the City of Oak Park for GPS, GIS services in the Department of Public Works. First, we need a motion to award.
So moved.
Second. And we have Director DeCoster here. So tell us what GPS GIS exactly is.
Sure. Well, good evening, everyone. So in front of you tonight is a proposal, it's a partial award of a contract and a proposal we asked OHM for. And this is kind of phase 2 of the project. Phase 1 was brought to you last year as part of a drinking water asset management grant that we received from the state of Michigan. That was phase 1. It focused on water infrastructure and assets. With this proposal, we're going to dabble into some street markings and trees. So this is another phase of that program. It's basically our crews will be on a tablet, go out in the field, have work assigned to them in real time, have real-time maps with work orders. They can click off when trees are trimmed, and it can be updated in real time. Right now, I hate to say it, but we're kind of using spreadsheets and Excel. So this is kind of bringing us out of the Stone Age, and our crews will literally have those tablets that our staff in the office can communicate with them for these 2 utilities. We're looking to expand this further, but for right now, we're just looking for these 2 projects. So it's recommended the City Council approve the tree trimming and pavement marking work in the attached proposal from OHM for the hourly not to exceed cost of $7,500 upon review by the City Attorney's Office. Funding is available in the Major Streets Fund, and it is further recommended to allow the city manager to execute the contract on behalf of the city.
Okay, questions, discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Item 11 is ordinances. This is, we need an approval for the second reading and adoption of an ordinance to amend Chapter 10, Article 7, circuses and special events of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Oak Park, Michigan by amending the article title, Division 1, Sections 10-251 through 10-253, and Division 2, Sections 10-266 through 10-273 thereof. Is there a motion to approve the second reading and adoption?
So moved.
Thank you. Discussion or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. We don't have anything from the city attorney today. City Manager Eric Tungate.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. 13A1, I would like to call up our city engineer, Kara Grissomer, to explain. Kara, take it away.
Good evening, council. You have a proposal from HydroCorp to provide professional services to the city with inspections and data of the non-residential water customers for the city. The proposal will cover field inspections, compliance inspections, re-inspections at our industrial, commercial, and institutional facilities, and miscellaneous water users throughout the city.
What are they inspecting for? Leaks or?
Cross connections are a problem for the city because there are certain water structures that could potentially cause a backup of bad water into the water supply piping. It can do so because of differential pressures, because maybe there's a water main break outside. And what we require is those commercial buildings to be inspected. We inspect 1/3 of the buildings per year, the commercial buildings. And we go through the facility and say if they have hose bib threads on their water tap in a janitor sink. If that hose is coiled up in the sink backs up, then there's differential pressure or back siphonage. that dirty water in the janitor's sink could go up the hose and back up into the water distribution system. That is a cross connection. So we require certain structures or certain types of backflow preventers to be on these systems. And we specifically are talking about just the commercial water customers.
Got it. Any other questions? More than you wanted to know about water. All
So
right.
this is recurring, right?
We are currently under contract with HydroCorp to provide these reports and inspections for our system. HydroCorp is, they provide these so that we are up to date with all our inspections for the state. They're a very organized company. They come out once per quarter just to spread out their visits so they're not in the city all the time. But they do communicate very well with me to make sure I know who's being inspected, and I can look them up and make sure that that's not vacant right now. So we get a lot of good information from them, and then they provide us at the end of the year with information we have to provide to Eagle.
No, but she was asking how often do you get the reports, not the quality of the reports. How
Oh.
often do you get the reports? Isn't that correct?
Quarterly.
Well, I noticed that there's an 8% increase from the previous 2 years. So I'm asking, so is this something we do that comes up every 2 years?
No, they've been billing us monthly for the last 2 years. And then we have been, they did do an 8% increase, and I noticed that myself, but that's most likely covering the fact that federal gas mileage has gone up quite a bit. I think it's gone up about 10 cents in the last 2 years. As well as, so our HydroCorp inspector drives here, then drives all around the city. So they owe him for all that, that mileage, as well as increase in salaries to cover some of the increases in inflation and everything.
So that's how they explained the increase?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, but everything is just costing more.
Yes. And HydroCorp is a good company that we've worked with?
We have worked with them for a very long time. They are very much favored by Eagle, which helps us because they know exactly how to phrase the reports, what to say on the reports. They are very familiar with the process, and Eagle is very happy with their work. So when we're asking somebody to write reports and do inspections that meet Eagle's standards, we really like to use somebody that Eagle also likes.
They've increased 8% over the last 2 years. The
No,
cost.
we had a 2-year contract with them, and then this bumps that up 8% for the next 2 years. So there will be no price change between contracts, but 2-year contracts, yes.
We need a motion, request to award the professional services contract to HydroCorp for an ongoing cross-connection control program for a total cost of $37,104. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Any further questions?
I just want to add a comment.
Yes. City Manager Tunge.
So, council members, I just want to clarify that this is a mandatory thing. So it's not optional. This is a state unfunded mandate.
Another unfunded mandate from the state. Thank you very much. You have to do it, but you have to figure out a way to pay for it. One of our least favorite things. If there are no further questions, roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitehead?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar?
Yes.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, 13B1, we have our city assessor, Dawn, is here. Dawn, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. This is a request from Kathleen Clancy. She's the owner of parcel 2528-332-043 at 23466 Forest Ave. She currently has a parcel that's 2 individual lots. It was combined in 1994. She wants to split those 2 lots out and create 2 separate parcels. There was, it was reviewed by all the other city departments. No objections were raised. We'd like you to accept the proposed lot division as set forth in the survey.
So first, we have a request to divide a single parcel, 23,466 Forest, that contains 2 subdivision lots into 2 individual parcels. Is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
Thank you. And my question is, somebody combined them. Why does she want them separated? Is she going to sell one and put a house there, or?
According to her letter, she said that when she purchased it, her son lives next door. She's thinking about selling the one house. I don't know if she's going to combine it with her son's property at a later date, but she just said that she wants to leave it vacant and do some cosmetic improvements and clean up the yard's overgrowth.
Who's gonna pay for it?
She is.
She is.
Yeah.
She's
Any
gonna
improvement?
sell the 2 parcels and
Madam
save
Mayor.
the taxes. Okay.
Question?
Just to clarify, she, in her letter, she is saying that she does not intend to develop the other lot.
Okay.
So she intends on keeping that a vacant lot that's
So
manicured
the
and taken care of.
advantage of it being separate, if it's,
The advantage would be to the next door adjacent property owner, which in her letter, she says it's gonna be her son, so.
okay, all right.
Correct.
Are we ready to vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, thank you. And then my favorite thing, city manager announcement.
Yep, and then I just have 13C, just really quickly, Elevate Oak Park update. Council members, again, every second meeting of the month, we do a brief update. These updates are gonna be much more substantial going forward, but let me just give you a quick breakdown. So as far as the event hub, we did have an agenda item on our special meeting agenda earlier, and we are, as you know, in the design process and cost analysis. I'm hoping to have final cost estimates to you very soon, by the end of the month. And, you know, we're looking at the possibility of beginning construction on the event hub in the fall. Very, very exciting, as you saw earlier. As far as the community center goes, we met with our financial representatives from PFM and our legal counsel on bond issuance. We are not going to issue bonds for the community center project this year, obviously. We would be looking to do that in future years. But right now, you know, we're talking about ways to bring our credit rating up to perhaps a AA-, which would obviously, according to our financial consultants, bring our rate down about 0.25%, which, not to go into the nuance of all of that, but for our taxpayers, 0.25% is substantial. So it's definitely worth us going through the process of improving our credit rating. Right now, we're A+, but we're on it. So
We're A+ now?
we're A+, yes.
And what would increase the credit rating?
There's a variety of different factors. The fact that our recreation millages are voted millages is an improvement. Obviously, there's a dedicated source of funding. But, you know, I think our fund balance is one of the big factors. You know, we've maintained somewhere around a 20% general fund balance. And while that's great, our policy is that we maintain at least a 10% against expenditures. We've been hovering right around 20%, so almost double the policy. But when you compare that to other cities around the country of our size, we're not a AAA community. I mean, we're still, you know, most of them are 35, 40%
Oh, wow.
general fund balances, and that would be virtually impossible for us to do. I'm just really proud that we have an almost 20% fund balance in place. Other factors, I mean, the local economy, our unemployment rate, other market factors are taken into consideration. I will say that the city of Detroit's credit improvements, which have been amazing, to be honest with you, are very much helping us. They are reflecting very positively on us in terms of the bond markets. You know, we're a inner ring suburb to a major city that has seen dramatic improvements, and their credit rating has demonstrated that. And they typically judge us based on what is happening in the core city, and as we know, in the core city, things are humming along pretty nicely right now. So that will definitely help. But for us to make the leap to a AA minus would be another step for us, and again, could save us potentially 0.25% of interest, so.
This is not something you can use the county
No.
credit rating.
No. No, and as you know, we did that back in after the Great Recession, during the Obama years, we did finance library improvements using the AAA rating of the county through one of their programs. And obviously there would be, AAA rating would be a market improvement, probably as much as I don't know, Sandra, if you want to weigh in on that, but maybe as much as a % savings with a AAA rating, but that's not going to happen. We're not going to get AAA rated. My goal has been, council members, as you know, for some time to get us to AA minus. I'm trying so hard. So,
Nice.
but
Thank
that's
you.
it. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions about the? Thank you.
Madam Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Appreciate that so much. Golly, keep bringing the good news. It's now time for a call to the audience. Mayor Pro Tem Burns, would you read the blurb?
Each speaker's remarks are a matter of public record. The speaker alone is responsible for his or her comments, and the City of Oak Park does not, by permitting such remarks, support, endorse, or accept the content thereof as being true or accurate. Any person, while being heard at a city council, may be called to order by the chair or any city council member for failure to be germane to the business of the city, vulgarity, or personal attacks on persons or institutions. There is a 3-minute time limit per speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody want to come up and speak? Questions?
I just got some questions.
We need you at the mic so the people at home can hear. Give us your name and address if you don't mind,
Sure, absolutely.
even though you're a frequent
Good
flyer.
afternoon, everyone. To the mayor and to the councilman. You guys know me. It's been a time I've been here. But anyway, my name is Sylva Haywood, and I am the president of Concerned Citizen Block Club, which is a Kenosha, Gardner, and Church. And I just have a little concern. The last meeting was held was on the 26th of March. And it was a good turnout, and the members brought a couple of questions to my attention. And one of them was, the first one was about, they're concerned about I think the last meeting I attend, it's supposed to be a new restaurant, supposed to be in Oak Park on 11 Miles. Is it up and running yet or no?
We'll get back to you after you're done.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
new restaurant.
Well, okay, moving right along. Okay, the next concern was about, it's about the streets are just so decapitated. And the one in particular is Pearson. And my question is, at what condition does a street has to be in before repair is done?
We will get you an answer.
You know? Because, the street is run right off for Coolidge, Pearson, and go all the way to Church. I mean, it's nothing but crater holes. It's ridiculous. And
Do we still have 24 hour?
the street that was done less than a year ago on North End, they did a spectacular job. I go out of my way to get on that street because it's smooth sailing, So the members just had some concern, and by me being the president, I bring it to the board.
So glad. Thank you so much. will bring someone up to answer the street question.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
Yeah, Dave. Director DeCoster, would you speak about what conditions the street has to be in to be repaired? Like, we've got some pretty bad streets out there, and we're wondering, when does ours qualify for repair? I know that, can you talk about the pothole repair problem also? Waiting for the street to be completely redone, we will repair the potholes as they show up. Can you talk about that program too?
I can tell you that our crews are out almost every day.
Say it again.
I can tell you that our DPW crews are out almost every day from now until November. cold
So
patching
Ms.
or hot patching.
Hayworth could report a pothole on Pearson near Coolidge, and it would get patched in the next few days.
Sure. And the criteria we do, myself and our engineering team, we go through the entire city every year during our budget process and prioritize our streets. This again goes back to the resolution you passed earlier about state funding. We're just not getting enough funding to repair our roads at the cost of inflation, the cost of construction. So we do our best to maintain what we have, whether it be patching or reconstruction of projects. Your street, Pearson, is on our radar. It's actually in our fiscal year 27-28 budget, so we're a couple years out. Unfortunately, the road criteria probably meets maybe a little bit higher, but the water main in that area also needs to be replaced. So we're not only doing the road, but we're doing the water main. And again, to secure that funding, we need to push that out a couple of years. So we don't disagree. The road probably needs to be replaced, and we will continue to patch it and hot mix it and cold patch it. But we're trending, looking at 27, 28 at the earliest.
For a new concrete.
For a reconstruction.
So 27, 28 for new concrete, but you can call and ask that it be patched if you notice potholes in the years leading up to that.
And another thing there, when it rained, the water just settled right in the middle of the street.
You can report, can you take down that report about the Pearson and patch and pothole repair? If the state had not cut its funding to the city, we would have more money to fix the streets. That's why we had the resolution earlier to the governor asking for state shared revenue to be back at its original levels and the lost revenue be made up, because that would be money that we could use to fix our streets. Thank you. Thank you about so call for potholes. Yeah. And you could talk to Director DeCoster after the meeting. Anyone else? Let's see. That would be a call to council. We had a sneak peek at what's coming up next door, and it's going to be amazing. We can't divulge any specifics, but it is astounding what they're planning. You're going to be delighted, certainly by this time next year.
Hopefully.
With any luck at all. Let's see. Mayor Pro Tem Carolyn Burns.
Wanted to say thank you, everyone, for coming out. The weather's changing. Please be conscious of that. I also like to give a shout out to the departments that worked on the upcoming event hub. Your time is greatly appreciated. Thank you for coming out. Good night.
Councilmember Julie Edgar.
Thank you for coming out. I just wanted to thank my friend Milt Newman here for coming to his first city council meeting ever. And again, please reapply for a commission or board. We need you. And I just want to concur with Ms. Hayworth that our streets, some of them are in really bad condition. I've been on the slow roll, and I mean, we need millions and millions of dollars to fix our streets, and it would make a huge difference. So I'm with you, and we're working on it, and the city's great at getting grants. They can get infrastructure grants, get our streets fixed. That's basic. So anyway, thanks for coming out, and good night.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to, as Mayor already highlighted, April 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. Would love to see everybody at World Dance Day. It's a great event that ACDC puts on, the Arts, Culture, and Diversity Commission. There's going to be at least 10 or 12 different dance groups. So it's going to be a packed crowd. We'll have desserts, so please come out. Thank you.
It is a fun event. To echo Councilmember Whitehead, this is fun. Come on out and join us. It's a free event. Dancers from around the world. Some of them bring you up and let you join them, and they're treats.
Excuse me, could you repeat what you just said, if you don't mind?
Yes.
I think there's something wrong with the mic.
April 28th, I could be speaking into it, not strong enough. April 28th, 2024, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Community Center is World Dance Day.
Oh, World Dance Day.
Yes. So there'll be folk dances, there'll be church dances, there's everything, the whole spectrum.
Is this
So,
the first time they had that? Or?
nope, it's
Every year.
been a lot of years.
Every year?
Several years.
Come on out, please.
Yeah.
It's a good Sunday event.
And everybody who came out tonight, thank you for coming. Don't be a stranger. Come on back. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned.